Keys to happiness. If we want to reach the keys to happiness, first we have to know what happiness truly is. Happiness is an emotional state characterized by feelings of such as joy, contentment, fulfilling, and enjoyment. While happiness has many different definitions, is often described as involving positive emotions. And one important thing to re- one important thing to remember is that happiness is not a state of constant euphoria. Instead, it is an overall sense of experiencing more positive feelings and emotions than negative ones. There are two key components of happiness. One, the balance of emotions and life satisfaction. The balance of emotions. All people around the world experience both positive and negative emotions, feelings, and moods. And happiness is generally linked to experiencing more positive feelings than negative ones. Life satisfaction. This one is relates to how satisfied you feel with different areas in your life, such as achievements, work, job, relationships, studies, and other things that you consider important in your life. While perception of happiness is different from one person to the next, there are some key signs that psychologists reach for when they want to measure and assess the happiness. Some key signs of happiness are uh, feeling like you're living the life you wanted, going with the flow, and a willingness to take life as it comes, experience more positive than negative, being open to new ideas and experiences, practicing self care and treat yourself kindly and with compassion, practicing gratitude, and wanting to share your happiness and your joy with other people. And now we want to talk about different types of happiness. There are so many different ways to think of happiness. For example, the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle made a distinction between two different types of happiness: hedonic, hedonia, and eudaimonia. Hedonic happiness is derived from pleasure. It's most often associated with what actually feels good in the moment, fulfilling desires, experiencing enjoyment, and feeling a sense of satisfaction. Eudaimonia. This type of happiness is derived from seeking virtue and meaning. An important component of eudaimonic life is when you have a meaning, a value, or a purpose in your life. And it's often associated with fulfilling responsibilities, investing in long term goals, concern for welfare of other people, and living up to personal ideals. And now the next question is that how we can cultivate happiness in our lives. Some people seem to have a naturally higher base level of happiness. One large scale of study has shown that around 50% of overall life satisfaction is due to genetics, 10% to external events, and 40% to individual activities. So we may not be able to change and control our base level of happiness, but there of course are the things that we can do to make us a happier person and more fulfilling and cultivate our sense of happiness, such as pursuing intrinsic goals, achieving goals that we are intrinsically motivated to pursue, especially things, the ones that are focused in our personal growth and community can help boost our happiness. Two, enjoy the moment. The studies has shown that people tend to over-earn. They become so focused on accumulating things that they lose track of what actually they are doing at the moment. Three, reframing negative thoughts. People have a natural negativity bias or a tendency to pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. And so this can have a huge impact on everything from how we make a decision to how we form impression of other people. And reframing this negative perception doesn't mean that we have to ignore the bad, but that means that we have to try to pay more to take a more realistic and more balanced look at different events in our lives. And the last one, showing gratitude. The studies has shown that when people write about things they are thankful for and write about gratitude during the day, can help them to improve their life satisfaction and cultivate happiness in their lives. And last things last is that we shall not forget that even the happiest of individuals can feel down from time to time. And people need to consciously, and happiness is something that people need to consciously pursue. End of the presentation.